We need to talk about selling in your Instagram DMs because the truth is that you can make so much sales just by selling in your DMs and not ever hopping on sales calls. I cannot stress how much I have not taken a sales call in my business in years. I mean, years. I have had people say, I don't understand how you're able to sign clients but never hop on a sales call with them. Like $20,000, $10,000, $5,000 clients without hopping on a sales call. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. All right, guys, let's get into it. If you're new around here, my name is Sienna Kopinski, and I am a Christian sales coach, which means that I help Christian entrepreneurs learn how to make more money in their businesses. All right. Definitely check out all the ways that we can work together in the description. But today we are chatting all about how to sell in the DMs. So first and foremost, if you haven't watched my video on Instagram stories, you're going to want to start there. Like, let's be clear, let's be honest. You need to get started in that video. And the reason why is because that video sets the foundation that is going to allow you the opportunity to sell in your DMs. If you're not posting consistently in your stories, you're not going to get people messaging you and asking you about your offers. The reason I'm able to sell $20,000 packages, $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 packages in my DMs is because I'm talking about my offer in my stories. So pause this video and go watch that one. So this way, when you come back to this video, you'll have all the knowledge and information that you need. Okay, so we kind of talked about, like, you have to be selling in your Instagram stories. That makes sense. You got to tell people what you offer, man. Like, we got to know what it is that you do, and we have to understand how it's going to benefit them. That is what that entire video is about. Now, what we are talking about today is selling in your DMs. So one of the things that I like to do is I like to ask people to message me a specific word. You can do this on your content, right there on your feed. I'll put a picture of like an example. You can also do this in your stories. I will also put a picture of an example right now. Make sure you pause on those areas so you can kind of see what those examples really look like. But the key here is that you want people to message you. You want them to get to know you. You want them to say, hey, I saw your offer on this. Can you tell me more? And another key of this is don't offer the sales call. Like, if you don't want to take sales calls, don't offer them. The reason I don't do sales calls in my business is just because I don't have the time. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I homeschool. I am in the middle of growing my family, and I'm running my business. I have so many things going on my plate, and I'm a military spouse. So there's a lot of things that is happening and shifting right now with my husband's career and his job. I personally cannot get on a 1 hour or less sales call with anyone to talk about my offers. But my website is available. I am available, and that through the DMs, and that is how we make sales around here. This is it. One of the things that I'm going to tell you, so we'll call this hot tip, is do not, and I mean do not offer the call, but also do not ask them if they are interested. Assume that they are interested. Let me give you an example. If somebody messages you and they say, hey, I'm interested in your offer, or maybe they don't say that because, right, you don't want to make that up. Let's say instead that they say, hey, I saw your offer. What is the price point? You're going to just answer their questions. You don't need to do any kind of negotiating with people. You don't need to beg people to come into your offer or into your program. Personally, you can join my program or you cannot join my program. It isn't going to hurt my feelings at the end of the day. Why I care if you do join my program is I'm excited to see you grow. I'm excited to see you make more sales. I'm excited to see whatever, right? But it is not going to hurt my feelings if you say, you know what, Sienna, I can't do this. It will not make that big of a difference to me because I do have clients that I love, that I support, that I pour into, right? every single day. And that is important. So when somebody sends you a message and they're like, hey, how can I work with you? Or, hey, I saw your offer, what's your price point? All you have to do is answer their questions. You don't need to try to negotiate with them. You don't need to try to convince them. You just need to answer their questions. They are allowed to say no. They are allowed to say, oh, I need to check with my spouse before I make this decision. And your response should be, great, when can I follow up with you? Or, awesome, thanks for letting me know. It doesn't need to be, and I don't teach sales the way that other people teach sales because I'm a Christian and I don't believe in forcing anything on anyone. Like, I take that to heart. I believe in love-based sales. Love-based selling means that I know that my program and offer is going to be beneficial for you, but if you realistically need to have a conversation with your spouse before you can join my program, I am not going to say, oh, are you sure? I paid for a sales training one time, and the person said that I need to say when someone says that to me, well, if your spouse knows that your business is struggling, wouldn't they want you to invest or something along those lines, right? And I'm like thinking to myself, yeah, of course they would. But what if my spouse has different plans for our family? What if my spouse spent the money that I was thinking about spending on something else that would benefit us even more, right? Like, there are so many things that happen in people's real lives that it is not my job to antagonize, to pry through, or to negotiate into their business. So when you are selling in the DMs, you need to come in really, really confident. The last thing that I will say when it comes to selling in Instagram DMs is you really need to understand what your offer is. And so when someone says something like, hey, I'm interested, you need to lead with the fact that they're interested. You say, great, I'm so happy to hear that you're interested. The investment, never ever call your item a price. Always call an investment, because the truth is, it is an investment, right? If you are a web designer, if you are a social media manager, if you are you are offering a service to a person, then there is an investment to it. If you are selling a product that is going to benefit them in some way, shape, or form, which hopefully every product does, then that is an investment. The investment amount is, or the project amount is blank. And you leave that alone. Why are we not calling it price? Well, we're not calling it price because realistically speaking, when someone sees the word the price is $10,000, they're not understanding that there is a mutual exchange that has to happen. But when someone says that the investment is $10,000, we all know when we put the word investment out there, if somebody says the investment is 10K, then we know as people that that means that I'm going to get something back. If I give 10K away in an investment situation, I am receiving something back in return. I'm not just paying a $10,000 price. There is something that I am expected to gain from that. And so you just assume the sale. You just go in and you say, great, can I send you a contract and invoice, or do you have any questions? How I typically sell is when someone says that they're interested, I immediately go, do you have any questions? Or what questions do you have about insert name of offer? My biggest offer right now is Consecration Academy. So I might say, hey, that's great. I'm so excited that you're interested in Consecration Academy. What questions do you have about it? Right? And I'll just let them ask questions. I recently just closed on a sale in the DMs the other day, and I'm going to share it. I'll put it on screen right here. And one thing I want you to notice about this conversation with the person I had the sales conversation with, that ended up signing already, like she signed, was number one, she said that she was interested. And then number two, I asked her what questions she has, and she says she doesn't have any. And then I just asked her for her email address, and then I sent her the contract and the invoice. And that's how we sold in the DMs. There's no science behind it. You just have to believe the person. When they say that they are interested in the sale, you just have to believe that they are interested in the sale. And that is how you sell in the DMs. But how you even get to that place is going to be based off of A, your content that you post in your stories and on your feed, and B, whether or not you're selling actively in your stories. If Instagram is your platform of choice, then you need to be showing up on Instagram. If LinkedIn is your platform of choice, then show up on LinkedIn, right? Now with LinkedIn, that's a different strategy, but we're talking about Instagram DMs. How do we make sales from Instagram DMs? Well, we make sales from Instagram DMs by showing up in our stories, which if you have not watched my how to sell in Instagram stories video, please go to my channel and watch that video. It is going to aid you in getting to a point where you can naturally and easily sell in the DMs. I remember a long time ago, I've been in business now for 5 years, and I was very confused. Instagram was my number one platform. I had never made a sale in the DMs, and I was stuck on back to back discovery calls with so many people who wasted my time, so many people who were not actually interested in signing up. But the minute I switched to DM selling, I never had that issue again. Every person who inquired became an exact sale. Every person who said, hey, I'm interested, became someone who was signing a contract. I didn't have the issue of, are they going to ghost me on this call? Are they going to even show up for this call? Are they going to blah, 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 blah for this call? I didn't have that problem. Why? Because they were the ones who reached out to me, and we naturally had conversations in the DMs. And I remember when I was first starting out, and I had reached out to a sales coach back then, and she had instructed me that her How to Sell in the DMs was a $15,000 course. I said, I'm going to try to figure it out on my own. And everything that I have figured out on my own is what I'm teaching you today for free. So this is my methodology to selling in the DMs. It really does start with your content, and then it starts with your Instagram stories and just making sure that you're offering a place for people to be able to buy from you. And then from there, now you're just having conversations with people. You're having conversations. You're allowing it to flow. You're assuming that they are completely invested, and you're not giving them, you're not really saying anything other than, what questions do you have? You put the ball in their court, and then they will decide if they want it or if they don't. Like, I think I have a 98%, 96 or 90, between 96 to 98% close rate on sales right now, from just Instagram DMs. I have to think about that. I was like thinking of every person. Just from Instagram DMs alone. It is not rocket science. It is just allowing them to respond, them to answer questions, and them to make decisions. And through that, you empower the buyer, and you allow your business to flourish without putting any pressure on yourself to make them uncomfortable or do icky, sticky, gross man-selling tactics is what I like to call it, okay? With that being said, if you are looking for structure, you're looking for support, you are like, I want to grow my Christian business, then I want to invite you to apply for Consecration Academy. In Consecration Academy, you and me are going to work one-on-one together and really develop your entire business properly from a standpoint of biblical, love-based sales. And from there, you're going to start to see sales in your business. I'm going to put some screenshots up of some sales that past clients have made while working with me. And I just want to tell you the power of investing in a coach. Consecration Academy details are down below in the description. Before you pop off, do not forget to subscribe to this channel. I'll see you in the next video.